All right, today we got the Hayward sand filter. This is model S2442. I'm replacing the sand. It's been a long time since it's been replaced. I'm going to say at least 10 years because we bought this house 9 years ago. And obviously it has not been changed by me due to my, ignorance of this whole thing. But anyway, we need 300 pounds to replace it. So here's the sand. I went and got 6 bags, 50 pounds each, and it is going to be, there you go, right there. Quality graded sand, Big Daddies. Has the silica in it, I think. Let me see. I thought that's what I asked the lady. It doesn't really say. Anyway, this is your pool filter sand. All right, we're going to do that. So what problems did I encounter with this thing, with this filter? Well, I have a small shop vac, which is fine. This is already cleaned out. You can see I filled it halfway with water. See that white circle down there? That's your drain plug, and that white thing is the inner kind of filter. You can undo that. Good luck trying. And the sand's supposed to, come out supposedly through that. So again, this is the Hayward S244T. Problem with this thing is there's the drain right there. And then on the back of the cap are notched pattern, which you can, turn around and take that white piece out to allow, help facilitate in draining the sand. But shop vac works best. Problem is, that thing is brittle, fragile, and it never comes out. You can work all night and work all day on it. It's just, the juice isn't worth the squeeze. So don't even bother. I don't know why they build these things. I don't know. It's almost like anything today. They build it to fail, so you buy a new one. So don't even count on that. But you can drain some water out. If it does drip slow, that means your sand is really compacted and dirty. And what I found helped on that is I stuck a hose into the drain, forced it up in just to mix stuff up, and then it, unclogged or uncleared out that passageway, and it can drain out. All right, second major problem I had. Well, it does take time. Let's say you get this off. My problem was there's this adapter, right? And it's attached to this is your laterals. I folded them, got them out. Problem is this pipe goes up into the valve right here, right? This thing was jammed up in there. I was thinking these guys, when they installed it, it goes right into this, right here, into this flexible seal. It was up past that. I was thinking they glued the damn thing in because I could not get it. I could not get the valve to detach from the pipe. And then also the laterals were about 6 to 8 inches higher off the bottom. It wasn't even on the bottom. So this thing was not even installed right, or it was messed with or something. It just was not right. So problem is I couldn't get this out. I eventually got the whole lateral assembly out, and here is the stock 1.5. This is really thin, what comes stock with this lateral assembly from Hayward. I have no idea why. I had this cracked. The only way I can get this detached from that, because I needed to get it off to put the sand in. I haven't put the sand in yet, but you need to get that off, otherwise you're gonna have a really tough time. Anyway, so I just went and got the regular 1.5 inch PVC extra. It's thicker, a little thicker than the crappy stuff they put on. Again, I wonder if it's designed to become brittle and fail. I put a coupler on. I glued the heck out of it. Primer glue. I'm now letting it set up for a couple hours before I submerge it and test the height. I'm worried about the height. It said, I wrote it down 20 3/4, roughly 20 5/8 I read, so close enough. But it seemed it might be too short when this touches the bottom. I want to double check. But it seems to me that the top of the standpipe comes to the bottom of this lip. So that was my big problem. Biggest pain in the butt was getting this stupid pipe off. This stuff is never easy unless you really know your pool, maintained it. It's just beware of that. It just could be time consuming and you will break stuff. All right. The other biggest peeve one has is, all right, so here's a heater. We don't use this damn thing, but anyway. These are unions. 1, 2. I got 2 there. So the guy was smart when he joined it into the heater. He put one there. But when he installed this damn thing, you should smack your pole installer because, look, no unions. Thank God these are flexible because I'm able to just lift this up out of the way. This is the waste pipe. I had to cut it. And again, I could just cut it, put a union in here, and then it'd be easier to take this apart. Make sure, if you're buying a house or putting in a pole or fixing or upgrading or whatever, make sure they put unions in. I could put a union here and a union here and just detach this thing and boom, this thing will come off. And of course a union there just to get it out of the way. Major pain in the butt. You don't know this stuff unless you really love cutting pipe, you know, and then doing the primer and cleaning and gluing and blah, blah, blah. And hacksaw and all that crap. Yeah. So I don't know why they do that. Again, they don't care. They're just trying to get the job done. I get it. But think of maintenance, folks. I wish, you know, be on these people. The more you know, right? All right, so where are we at now? We're waiting for this to cure, this thing. I'm going to measure the top. You know, I'm going to definitely have to cut this. But I didn't want to cut it to the what I originally had because I felt it was too short. And you're supposed to be touching the bottom of the sand filter. You know, and this thing, I'm actually going to lube this little thing up inside just so it slips on and off easy. I do not want to have to go through that again. So there is where we're at. I got the sand ready to go. And what I did is I filled the tank up halfway. So I'll put the laterals in. And what happens, you slowly pour the first bag in. And with the half tank filled, the sand settles lightly over the laterals so you don't crush them. And then you can keep positioning it, but make sure it's on the bottom. Put a cup cap or tape over this so sand does not get down. Anyway, this is just the first part of this video, the frustrations I've had. I did not want to cut pipe. I just don't want to mess with it. Eventually, when I get more energy, it's this flexible tube. It's fine right now. It works. I know I can get the valve off. And your part number's right here. Boom. The good thing, I was really surprised, is these laterals. They're not overly expensive. They're cheap plastic, which is amazing. They haven't cracked yet. Check for cracks. You know, I went through. These are actually pretty good. I'm amazed. But the pool was getting cloudy and all this stuff. And I just figured this thing needs change since it's been so many years. But this is about $120 to replace. So value your time versus whatever. If you break it, fixing it, whatever. This I was shocked to see was around, I think it was under $150 on Amazon, even less maybe $120, $130. So I lost my cap, so I used a Sharpie. If you can see that, I lost the label. So you put waste, filter, rinse, backwash. Yeah, after I do the sand, oh boy, backwash for 3 minutes, rinse for a minute, and then go to town on filter, and you'll probably get some cloudiness coming out. That's just the residual, but hopefully it'll clear up. I'm just waiting for the pipe secure, put some sand in, and just get this thing done. It's a project, guys. Shop vac works. It takes time and it's messy. I just threw on my sand right here now because, you know, it's in the back. No one sees it. I'm gonna probably put dirt over it, but yeah, where else am I gonna dump it, right? All right, guys, that's where I'm at. Have fun with your pool. Pain in the butt. I'm sure it would have cost a lot of money to have this done. Oh, the sand for 300 pounds, 6 bags, about $120 total. Not too bad. Again, I think what happens with pools, obviously it's like cars, labor. You can do it yourself. You just have to have time and patience. And it's not as easy on these YouTube videos where you watch these guys in their showrooms, their pool rooms, and they have a cutaway Hayward filter and they're working on it. Oh, here's how you do this. It's so freaking easy for them because guess what? The components have not been exposed to the weather and time and age and abuse or whatever, neglect. That's where stuff comes, like cars. When guys work on cars, mechanics, they have rusty bolts. They can't get stuff out. They have to hacksaw them off, blah, blah, blah. I hate those videos. I want to see people in the field like this working on stuff and showing you what can go wrong. Also, you got your gasket under here. Make sure that's good. I put some happy gel on there. I forgot what it's called. It came with the pump. Yeah, and that's good to go. All right, that's it. That is where I'm at. That's, I guess, part one. But again, make sure if you don't have your pull filter. If you got your label, go take a picture of it now. It's got your serial number in the bottom right here. Got your model number and the amount of sand. Take a photo of it and save it off, because you will lose this label. Look, it's already coming apart. And then here's your part numbers over here. Right here for this. And of course, the laterals have a part number at the bottom right there. This is S202EIN. So there's always a part number somewhere. All right, I'm out. Talk to you later. Wish me luck. I hate this.